The objective of this video is to learn how to conduct a z-test about the difference between two proportions using the p-value method. We will use the TI graphing calculator to find the p-value. In Cleveland, a random sample of 73 mail carriers showed that 10 had been bitten by an animal during 1 week. In Philadelphia, in a random sample of 80 mail carriers, 16 had received animal bites. Is there a significant difference in the proportions? Use a 0.05 level of significance. The assumptions for the z-test for two proportions are: 1. The samples are random samples. 2. The sample data are independent of one another. 3.
For both samples, the product NP must be greater than or equal to 5, and the product NQ must be greater than or equal to 5.
Our null hypothesis will be that there is no difference between the population parameters. Since we are using the subscripts 1 and 2, it will be necessary for us to identify which group is group 1 and which group is group 2. The question asks if there is a significant difference in the proportions, so our alternative hypothesis will be that the population proportions are not equal. The claim is in the alternative hypothesis in this case. So we should begin by organizing the data that is given to us in the problem. We are given data about mail carriers in Cleveland and in Philadelphia. It is important that we are consistent in the way that we identify the groups, so we will call Cleveland Group 1 and Philadelphia Group 2. The problem tells us that N1, or the number of observations from Group 1, is 73, and X1, the number of successes, is 10. We are also told that N2, the number of observations from Philadelphia, is 80, and X2, the number of successes, is 16. We can use the TI graphing calculator to find the p-value for this test. In order to use the TI graphing calculator to find the p-value for a z-test about the difference between proportions, we will begin by pressing Stat. Cursor over to Tests, and we will access the function toProportion z-test, so we'll press 6. The number of successes for group 1 was 10, the number of observations was 73. The number of successes for group 2 was 16, and the number of observations was 80. It is important that we select the correct orientation that appears in the alternative hypothesis. Our alternative hypothesis was that P1 was not equal to P2, so we will highlight this choice and press Enter. Now cursor down to Calculate and press Enter. And we can see that the p-value is 0.2999 when we round to 4 decimal places. So with a p-value of 0.2999 and alpha equal to 0.05, we can see that the p-value is not less than alpha. Therefore, we should not reject the null hypothesis. So our conclusion should be that the evidence does not suggest that a difference exists in the incidence of animal bites between mail carriers in Cleveland and Philadelphia. In this video, we learned how to conduct a z-test about the difference between two proportions using the p-value method and how to use the TI graphing calculator to find the p-value.